we're talking about this app and like saying what it does, but what is LYNQpoint actually?
LYNQpoint is supposed to simplify making meeting like very convenient. Like that's the thing. Like, you know, there's a lot of like what LYNQpoint does is take care of all those extra steps or something. You know, if you're talking to someone new, you're like, oh, are you by this or search that? Where are you by? What area you by? Search this, search this, search this. Where for us, you just get on the app, you send a request, it's already done. Like you pick where you want to go, or you search where you want to go, and it establishes all that for you.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Opinionated Off-Topic. Today I'm with Carlos Mojica, co-owner, co-founder of Opinionated Media. I'm Cam Theory, co-owner, co-founder of Opinionated Media. I'm with the boy Filip and Devo, right? Devin, yeah. Devin, okay, yeah, gotcha. I'm with two of the homies. You know, shout out to LYNQway. You know, it's one of the coolest apps that I've came across, and excited to learn more about this. Disclaimer: we shot a podcast probably around 2 years ago that we ended up not putting out, and you know, so much had changed within their brand and then our brand. We felt like it was a better time to revisit the conversation, but super excited to learn more about it, what you guys have been working on, what you guys have coming up, and thank you guys again for taking the time out of your Saturday to shoot this with us. So
Yes, sir. Like you said, I appreciate y'all, especially you coming all the way from Houston. So I'm sure you woke up early this morning and hightailed it on over here. So I appreciate that. It means a lot for both of us. But just give a little backstory from both of y'all about where y'all came from and how y'all got to doing now.
Yeah, I mean, Filip, of course. But I guess to start off, we can start off like how we met. We met in college. We both went to Texas Tech University. We both did engineering. He did mechanical, I did petroleum. But, you know, kind of just met each other right off the bat. We knew we kind of like wanted to grind it out, you know, get good grades, study, all that. Mm-hmm. And, you know, just kind of that's how our like friendship progressed. We just both knew we were kind of like go-getters in that way and stuff like that. And yeah, and then one summer, pretty much after we graduated, he called me up. He's like, yo, I got this crazy idea, and, you know, let you introduce yourself and get that going.
Yeah, so I'm Devin Williams, CEO and co-founder of LYNQpoint. Like Filip said, grew up, born and raised Houston, Texas. Met him at Texas Tech University, graduated mechanical engineering degree. And yeah, met Filip. We always were getting busy with, you know, work, things like that. Mm-hmm. So always picking ideas off each other's brains, mm-hmm. things like that. Just grinding it out. I mean, y'all know about the college grind, late night studying, engineering, things like that. Yeah. So, yeah, we graduated and, you know, wanted to come up with something. So we called each other and got to it pretty much.
yeah.
What high school did you go to?
I'm with the Westfield in Houston.
Westfield.
On the north side of Houston, yeah.
Okay. How was you saying if it was like one of those big time Houston schools?
Oh, it is.
It is?
Yeah.
Are they
cold in football.
They're good.
They're good at football?
They're pretty good.
What,
we're going like 5A or 6A?
6A.
Yeah, 6A.
6A. Has anybody came out of there? Like
Ed Oliver?
That's right.
Yeah.
Oliver went. That's right. That's what I was thinking of on that one podcast we were shooting about Cruz. Yeah. But anyways, so he hits you up and he tells you about this idea, and off the rip, are you like that's dope as hell? Let's do it. Or are you like,
Nah. I mean, off the rip, he was like, I feel like, I mean, I don't know if you want to tell it your way, like how.
I could probably go into it. So it was more like, I guess the longer story is, pretty much I was having, you know, instances of where, you know, this could be done. And, you know, one day you say, okay, like, you speak on it and you say, you know, what if there was an app that did this or whatever. But it's just, you know, talking with brother, uncle, things like that. And you don't do anything with it. Then one day, you know, you kind of get a little motivation. It's like, you know, I keep having this instance. Like, it just kept picking at my brain. So it was like, hey, let's try to make it happen. So initially, first person I called was Filip, because again, that's the last 4.5 years of my life. That's who I pretty much grinded things out with. So I call Filip, and he's like, he catches it. He's like, okay, word, we can do this, we can do that. Now we bouncing our ideas off with each other. And
Exactly.
long story short, God put it on our minds, and we put it on the iPhone. So
Yeah, exactly.
How was it for you?
Like, what do you mean? Just
Like when he told you the idea, we were like,
okay. So I guess, I mean, the best way I can remember it exactly, like he called me up. He told me like, you know, I have a bunch, you know, because of work, I live kind of like far out or whatever, and I got like a bunch of friends that sometimes they don't want to pull up all the way to me or something. We trying to figure out something like, you know, that's kind of between us and convenient. And he was like, it would be like, I'm thinking like, I've been thinking about this for a minute, but it would be sick if there was like an app like that. Because I mean, you know, you can go and do a bunch of steps to figure that out, but you feel me? If you make an app that just like skips all that, does it for you right away, that's like perfect, super convenient. And I was just like, dang, that's dope. And then, you know, we were just, like he said, like just bouncing ideas off each other. I was like, oh, and what, you know, what if it could do this too, and this too, and this too? And then, you know, just the way we are, we're just like, let's make it happen. And I mean, like, no exaggeration. Like, you know, when we say let's make it happen, I'm talking like the next day we were starting like meetings and trying to get stuff going. And I was putting together a bunch of like storyboards of like what's next, what screens do we need, like wireframes, what comes next. You know, he was thinking of who would be a good like addition to help us, like who you know, obviously it's the easiest way is to start with like who you know to bring on and help. So we were just thinking like who could be a good fit with us and like help bring it to life and stuff like that. So I mean, I guess to wrap up your question, I was with it from the jump, and it was exciting too. And I was also in a place too that I was really excited and actually had a lot of time, because so when I graduated with petroleum engineering, I graduated like 2020, so like prime COVID time. So pretty much like me and my entire class, all the jobs we had, they got stripped, taken away. Like oil was like negative for the first time in history. So it was just like, like negative price per barrel
Yeah.
for the first time in history. So it's like I had really no job outlook. I remember I was like applying crazy, nothing like that. So when he came to me with this like idea, it was like perfect timing. I was super motivated, and like I had so much time to spare to like do a bunch of stuff and like really get the ball rolling with all this. So.
what was the first thing y'all thought? Because obviously when you hear an app and all this other stuff, like my thing that I first think of is like when you create an app, coding. And y'all's two respective degrees, y'all don't deal with coding. It's more of a comp sci degree. Yeah, so like y'all want this app, but y'all don't know how to code. So how do y'all go about finding someone who does know how to code and knows how to make an app work?
So I'll speak on that. So actually where I met Filip is Sneed Lab. That's where, you know, all the engineers in my dorm freshman year was studying and things like that. And Noah, he actually went to high school with y'all, I believe.
Yeah.
So Noah was always in the lab. So pretty much, again, when we were talking about, you know, how we want to go about with this app, the first thing we do is, hey, who can we ask? Who can we use around us? So Noah played a huge role in actually the introduction of LYNQ and things like that. So, of course, you know, we've never made an app. So when you're making an app, you think, okay, you don't know what to think. So we thinking it could be easy.
Straight up.
Yeah, we don't know what to think. Yeah. So we talked to Noah, and Noah's like, I think Noah believed in it, but I think Noah, he was like, okay, everybody comes to me with these ideas. Like, he sent us like homework. He would send us homework, me and Phil. And we were so jittery about it, we would like knock it out that day.
Exactly.
So Noah would be like, study this video. And one of the main things he taught us about was MVP, which is basically taking all of the ideas you want on the app and simplifying it into what we really want.
Okay.
And once we came up with an MVP, that's when Noah was like, all right, I'm in. I'm going to help y'all out. So
okay, wow.
We would just, you know, like Filip said, build storyboards and things like that. So Noah played a good part of building a foundation for us starting it off.
Yeah. So Noah kind of like essentially, you guys had the idea, he had the knowledge, but he was trying to, I would say, give you guys that push to see if like him helping you guys out with it would make
like
sense.
Cast out a line.
Yeah, for sure.
You see if we're about it. And the other thing is like, because Noah did comp sci, so I'm pretty sure for like a couple of their projects, right, he actually had to make a couple like small apps and stuff. Right. So he did have a little experience with that like already. So, you know, he knew like the base steps, but yeah, like exactly what you said. He was kind of testing the waters, like, you know, do these guys really want to like take this on, or are they just kind of like excited in the moment and stuff like that?
I guess that leads me to my next question is, when you guys are like building a team, like obviously you all two are really good friends, and then you and Noah go way back, to high school and stuff. Besides, I guess y'all three is kind of the core three. Whenever you were adding more people that would help you out with stuff, or even contracting out people, like how was that process of just building a team, especially when you're essentially, you got this app, very cool idea, long term can make you guys both, generational wealth. Just like what's that mindset like?
So building the team was interesting because, again, it's our first time doing something like this. So it was really just, you got to kind of let people find their place. So we had a lot of help, again, from friends, just ideas and things like that. Like, again, like Sneed Lab was pretty much big for us. So we reached out to a lot of people who were in Sneed Lab, and we all talked about it. Like, what do y'all think? What do y'all think? And things like that. And we would all be in a big group meet message, just pitching ideas and things like that. And then pretty much roles got filled. But yes, I would say the core three was me, Philip, and Noah. And Noah was pretty much like, I'm a front end developer, but I can help y'all out and bring on a back end developer, which is Innocent. So Innocent became my back end developer through Noah, and pretty much Innocent's been bought in since. Smart dude, hard worker, and contracting is just, we have meetings every day of what we need. So it's like, okay, we need this. We contract somebody for this. We contract somebody for that. So I would say it's still a learning experience. Things have shifted on the team and things like that, but it's all about, again, who's passionate about the project and who wants to continue to grind with us. And I mean, not saying that the people who aren't with us didn't want to continue or things like that. It's just, everybody has different purposes in life. So
they find their path.
Exactly.
Well, I feel like it's also too at this age, like the age we're at, you obviously have a good idea. That's something you're passionate about. So the front end work, it's like, all right, we got to make sure this product works. We got to make sure it sells. We got to make sure it's just a good product. But then there's a whole nother world of things. And that's kind of what we've been learning like the last 2 years is just like the real business world, like actually having to be able to build a business, make revenue, make those hard choices and stuff like that. So did you guys always have like the business mindset like right away? Or was it just like, this is a cool idea app, like let's make this app. And then when did like that business like change, like hit you guys?
I mean, I think like as far as like business mindset, I mean, we're always considering, business, but when we first started the app, it was really just like, let's make an app. And we were always like, let's make an app that goes hard, that gets a huge following. And then, once you have that, like that natural following, like the money will just come. Like, but, I wouldn't say like off rip, it was so heavy, like money oriented. I wouldn't even say like, really now it's super heavy money oriented. It was just more like we wanted to make an app that was awesome. I'll say the way I put it, like I always wanted to just like walk down the street and like someone's got like the app that we made on their phone. To me, that's crazy.
Quick thing, what is a front end developer? What's a back end developer? What's the difference? Do you know?
So like a front end developer is handling stuff that you typically see like on like the app UI, like buttons, how they work and stuff like that. And just keeping it super simple. Like a back-end developer is more like the data where stuff is stored, servers and stuff like that keeps it operating. So like you could think like in super simple terms, because I ain't trying to offend no computer science people. But front end's like the pretty cosmetic stuff you see, and then back end's like all the data. Where's all this data stored? Server capacity, how stuff's talking to each other and stuff like that.
Okay. How long did it take for y'all to like, okay, we're starting, Noah's on, we're all talking, we're all having these meetings. Now let's start putting this thing together. And he goes to work, starts coding. Innocent comes on, starts coding. Y'all are doing whatever y'all got to do, more ideas, whatever the case is. But how long was it until y'all started actually getting the ball rolling?
That's an interesting question because I would say, I mean, I don't know when the first day we actually started coding. I can't give you that date, but I would say the ball just started rolling day to day, and kind of like y'all's business, you got to continue growing it. So it's whatever you put into it. So I would say the more we put into it, the more the ball got rolling. And you go through times of unmotivated periods. So there'll be times where we might feel like, okay, the ball is rolling, and even with contractors, like we'll hire somebody and maybe their work isn't good and things like that, and it's like, okay, we're expecting them to do a job, and it's like we pretty much waste money on somebody who said they were qualified but wasn't necessarily qualified, and that can be unmotivating. And then you got a group of people who all have full-time jobs, they have lives and things like that. So when everybody's bought in, I would say the ball continues to roll. And yeah, that's why we like to meet so much. That's why we like to fill each other out. That's why we like to, see where everybody's head is at in life. Because we understand that, I mean, at the end of the day, this is a side gig, but it's something we're all passionate about. So when everybody can get together and put their passion towards it, the ball definitely gets rolling. But the date, I would say years. It took years to, pretty much get the ball. Like what y'all see today took years to create.
Yeah. I mean, because like you said, we started this 2 years ago. We did this, 2 years ago? And then he'll be like, oh, it's going to release in the summer. Oh, it's going to release this time. Oh, it's going to release this time. Then just the date for the video just kept getting pushed back. And then eventually we're like, I mean, whenever it drops, we can just film another one. Like it's whatever. Y'all are, he's down the street. I mean, it's just easy for us to do another one.
Yeah, and it's nice too just to be able to like meet you and then like kind of hear like your inside as well. Because obviously, like I'm sure you guys had like different opinions on stuff, or let's try this or this. So I guess when you guys would work with each other and like someone has an idea, how do you go about implementing that idea? Is it like we all got to agree, or is this like let's just try it?
I would say you put it out there for the team to hear. So I mean, I can honestly say me and Filip haven't agreed on everything that's going on with this app, but sometimes you're going to. I mean, my vision. I mean, that's why we have a team. A diverse group. So it's like my idea is not always the right idea, but that's why he's a co-owner of the app, and so are the other two co-owners. Because it's like, hey, if I was 100% right, I would have done it by myself.
That's true.
Never asked for a team to be here. So it's like, even though we disagree, we put it out there to the team, and whatever tends to make sense, that's what we proceed with. And even when we're wrong, sometimes it's like, okay, maybe we did something that was the wrong step, and we got to backtrack. But it's like, as long as we can understand we made that decision with like no ill intent, then it's all respect, and we can continue to move forward with that.
Yeah, because that's the other good thing about a team is like you have an idea, and like you said, your idea might not always be right. So if you're an individual, you do the idea, and it just could be wrong, the wrong way to think about something. But when you have a team, you can bounce ideas off each other. Or he could see your idea and be like, I like that idea, but how about we go this way with it instead? So that's the good thing about a team. So y'all are kind of in the same boat as us, as this is a side hustle. You're doing it to obviously make it like a full-time thing, but y'all are spending this money, y'all hiring people and spending this money. How unmotivating was that for y'all? Or like, how did y'all feel about that, where y'all are spending all this money and y'all aren't bringing in money? And how hard is that to like keep the other people on? Because at the end of the day, y'all two are going to stay on because this is y'all's idea. This is what y'all want to do. This is y'all's baby. The other two they didn't just come on, but like y'all like kind of had to convince them to come on and like, all right, we're here. And they can just leave anytime they want to, essentially. But that's the same thing with us. Like, it was us two, and we're spending all this money, no money coming in. So how is that for y'all, I guess, that y'all spend all this money even hiring people or putting the app on the market, and whatever other money has to do with it, and no money's coming in?
I think what we did really good in the beginning was everything was homemade. Like, it's by us. Like, in the beginning, we really would like did everything. And honestly, like even to now, a lot of it's like everybody's own skills. They put the time in. That's like where the money comes from. We definitely have like invested quite a bit, but to be honest, for like seeing where the app is now and stuff, we're nowhere near like how much it would have cost to just like be like, oh, we need people to make this app, right now or whatever. Like, so I think we've been really like smart, and we did really well with the money spending on it, or the investing on it. But like other than that, I mean, I don't know. I think it's been good. Like, I don't think we've like overstepped spending, and we always like if we do have like something we're concerned about, or maybe like because we have different bills from like some of the utilities we use, like backend servers and like API Places API and stuff like that. We'll try to like prioritize or optimize like what's going on with the app, and see if that could like shave off some, or see if like we're like doing something that's I guess calling for too much, or like just always optimizing. But yeah.
And I would agree. I think we saved a lot of money by being the guy who does the job. So that took a lot of trust within yourself to say, don't just dish out money to pay somebody to do the job.
Exactly.
Let's figure it out ourselves.
Exactly.
So I mean, we would draw our own storyboards. We mapped out screen by screen by itself, and that job might have cost who knows what to pay it. So, you know, we just have to trust in our own skills and, again, trust in the team. A lot of it, honestly, is sweat equity. Like Filip said, you know, when we first started, he wasn't working at the time. So, you know, he grinded a lot out. Just, you know, we learned and figured out how to do things on our own. So that definitely helped a lot. But, I mean, in a sense, I feel like we're trying to turn a lemonade stand into a lemonade factory. So it's like, you know, you got to build the stand and you got to make that stand out of your pocket. You know, once you start selling lemonade, then, you know, you get money for a bigger crowd. You can afford bigger resources to, you know, tend to that bigger crowd. So I would say right now, yeah, we're doing just fine. It can be unmotivating to come out of pocket sometimes, but although we've done a lot of bad things with money, we've made poor investments in certain people and things like that. We've also made great investments. We've even brought a contractor on full time who we invested in because his work was just amazing, and he was so passionate about the project. We were like, hey, let's bring you on full time. So we've done a lot of good with the money as well. To where it's like, you know, we don't go to sleep at night thinking about our losses too much.
That's good.
How hard is it for, I guess, the whole group just to even stay motivated? Because I feel like sometimes, not us two, but just our group has that problem where we're like, it's really just us two who spend the money, which sucks, but you spend this money. I mean, and this, I mean, just like y'all's app, making an app isn't cheap, but like this stuff isn't cheap. So like every time you buy something, it's typically upwards of $100+, 100 being the minimum. So how hard is it for everybody to stay on? Like, man, I'm just spending this money. We're not even bringing anything in. It's been 5 years at this point.
I would say it's definitely, it's not the easiest thing to keep everybody motivated because, like I said, I mean, we're people who have lives going on. People have personal business going on. People have, you know, tragedies and just things that, you know, people deal with on a daily. So it's not like throughout this process, everybody's life hasn't been perfect. Things have just been smooth for everybody. So I think it just takes getting to know your team and not just getting to know them because you want them to work, but getting to know them on a personal level, like checking in randomly, like, hey, you good? You need anything? Talking to the guys. And then I would say for me and Philo, I think we get motivated by seeing, you know, hey, when we come up with an idea and they develop it and we see it, it's like, oh, that's motivating for us. And I think the developers, they get motivated by what we do with the app and how we can show them how people use the app. So things like our videos, we put out the LYNQ challenge that's on TikTok. Like, the guys love those videos. So we'll send them a video and they'll go crazy. But I try to tell them all the time, like, that's the app you created. And that's what people can do with the app that you created. So it's just showing people, I guess, their works and how positive it can be is very motivating to each other.
And everybody, you know, has their role. And so, like, you know, when everyone's pulling their own weight, or like, let's say, you know, someone's like, if someone is slacking or whatever, it's just like, just being consistent. Like, I feel like, you know, we always just have to make sure, like, I think I've made almost a ton of the meetings and stuff, and it's like sometimes somebody can't make it or whatever, but it's like, you know, still having the meeting. And like one thing that we do a lot is like, if we have nothing to talk about on the meeting, maybe like we know like, oh, okay, there's not really going to be an update tonight, we'll still meet anyways, just to chop it up, just to like make sure everyone's like good mentally, and just kind of just even talk about like, you know, our future dreams with the app and stuff like that. But I think that's pretty important. Like, if we have no like update, but still just like, you know what, we usually meet, let's still meet today. Let's still chop it up.
Yeah, he could probably touch on it too, but that's one thing that we do lack. We always say that we need to do it, but we never, all the times we say we need to do it, we don't do it. We've met like,
we met a couple times.
But
like, it's just not consistent. And then, you know, just trying to like make sure, like, I feel like we've been in like in a weird stage where there's like people treating it like a hobby, and then there's like people treating it like a business. So it's like trying to mesh both, and then having, you know, the seriousness when it's like, all right, like, especially when you're doing stuff with your friends too. It's like, all right, let's put this business hat on. Like, let's be serious for an hour to 2-3 hours, you know, have our talking points, be prompt with our time, etc. And then we can, you know, shoot the shit after, or whatever the case may be. But but like, to speak on what Carlos was saying is, I definitely understand that. And just like constantly still meeting, like, regardless if you have an update or not, you're still like, it's still programmed in everyone's head. It's like, all right, regardless if we have an update or not, we're still going to meet. We're still going to talk. We're still going to discuss the app. This is still a set time that I'm spending a week or however you meet that's designated to only working on this.
I think we all also know how important it is.
Yeah.
Like you said, keeping the ball rolling. I think keeping the ball rolling and holding each other accountable is very important because it's like, how can I want the app to be successful if I'm missing meetings? I know Philip's on every meeting and the other guys, but how am I missing meetings because I'm tired today or things like that? So it's like, it's like we push each other in that sense. It's like, okay, I know if he's going to be on a meeting, then hey, I need to be there. And those guys know if they're going to be on meetings like Tom and Innocent, hey, if Innocent's going to be on a meeting, Tom's going to be there. And we understand too, like, hey, you might have a late day at work, you might do this, but still, you don't want to go so long without, I guess I'm gonna call it brothers or family. You don't want to go so long with the family moving along while you're not there. Even if you got to tap in and say, you know, hey, I'm at work still, I'm busy. Hey, it's good to hear your voice. Because like Philip says, every night it's not a huge update. Some nights we get on there, laugh, make jokes, talk about what sponsors we want to have in the future, things like that. Talk about who's going to get fired by HR first when we hire.
Who's gonna get canceled and all that.
Who's not going to be able to speak when the media comes
Who
out.
can't go on the podcast?
Nah, for sure.
So yeah, it's just good to get that bond. And like I said, we don't just want to be working with each other. It's like you talk to somebody so much, you almost become family with them. So it's like, you get to know their personal struggles and things like that. And it's just like, we're all here for each other. We're, boys at the end of the day. So,
and honestly, just the team that we have, we're just blessed to have a team like that. It's not just like, sure, you can do everything that he just said, and you still might not have a team that meshes, or you still might have like somebody that's like just doesn't pull their weight or whatever. So another thing is just like blessed with the team that we have and the guys that we have, because it's so true. Like, you have your real job, you have your side hustle, you're battling life. Like, life's tough, and it's like we happen to have us four, and everyone seems like equally motivated, equally confident, and consistent as well. So it's like, there's definitely some luck in there with the team too. Like, just being able to find individuals like that match the same energy, especially with just balancing life and everything.
That's something that I want us to do more, is just have the meetings regardless if we do have something to talk about or not. Because like I said, I feel like it is important, especially we're about to be in y'all's boat where y'all can't see each other all the time or every day. I mean, like I said, we're moving out of here, so it's going to be completely different. Everybody's going to be on their own separate ways, and you can't just pull up to somebody's house every Monday or Tuesday sometimes. So I would like for us to have those meetings regardless if there's something to talk about or not. But I also feel like that's kind of the hard part, is if there is anything to talk about. Some people may be like, there's nothing to talk about, I'm just going to waste my time or whatever, or I don't want to be on there because we're just going to be bullshitting the whole time, or whatever the case is. But I going into this next year, that's one of, I think some of the goals that we have is to have meetings at least once a week.
Yeah, like I say, it's good. And it's interesting you say, y'all live in the house together and y'all about to move. Because obviously I knew Phil coming up from college, but I didn't see Phil for like maybe 2 years after we had already, 2-3 years after we had already been working on the app. We've actually never met Tom in person. And Innocent came to my house once just to say he saw my face. So, so no, we don't see each other often. We definitely know each other well, and we talk to each other, and we understand each other's schedule, and we just try to work around it. And I will say, I think it's one of the most beneficial parts of the app. So even if we got to get on the phone and just breathe, it's still like, at least we're all here. At least I know, like, the developers haven't given up. I know Filip hasn't given up. So it's just a little, that's something that motivates us.
Does Noah still live here in Texas?
Noah, but he's like, I don't think he has a place. I think he's like couch surfing right now.
Oh, really?
Gotcha.
But like on his own choice.
He
got money.
That's just like he's on that nomadic type vibe, just moving around and stuff.
Noah, man, free spirit. So.
For sure. No doubt. I guess now, since you guys have developed the app and stuff, kind of bridge the gap a little bit for not only like the viewers, but like us from the last time we talked kind of more in depth about where the app was at the time, probably 2 years ago, to where it is now. Like,
they even had a different logo.
What was some of like some of the stuff y'all went through to get that going?
Yeah, I would say just to bridge the gap, you know, when we shot the pod 2 or was it 2 years ago? 1 year ago?
2
2 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, it was a minute, but it was still like a lot of like, you know, it was just we had like a lot of ideas in place. The app wasn't fully like articulated yet at all. At that point it was like, you know, just very very simple, and we had a different team then, and like just very different. I mean, I don't know if I want to go like into individual like specific changes, but
I won't go in specific changes, but pretty much I would just say we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into.
Yeah.
Because again, this is our first app that we've created, and it's the thing about creating apps. It's unique. It's not like we're not creating an app that's already been created. We're creating our own roadmap. So how we do it is how we figure out how to do it. It's just really no answer, no rule book, no guidance. So again, we probably thought we were somewhere at a point in time, but again, we learned and we're more calm and we're more mature to understand, like, okay, let's just see it. What's next first. Like even today when we have current bugs and things like that happen, you know, sometimes I like to ask the developers like, hey, can we look something up to get this fixed? And it's like, well, we can't look something up because this is like we wrote this code. We have to figure it out. This is our roadmap. So I would just say in 2 years, things change every day. But we've made great adjustments to the team, made adjustments to the logo, like you stated. Things with, you know, going through.
Got that vintage on right now.
You know what I'm saying?
That's OG friends and family right there.
Remember right there. I appreciate you wearing it.
Mine's in the closet at the crib.
But
Gained a little pound, so you know.
But even just learning the legal processes of things, and you know, a lot has changed. But again, I don't know if y'all want to go into more detail. If y'all want me to go into more detail,
it's on y'all.
Quick summary. I mean, I would say like the boring answer is pretty much everything, but like functionality, the UI, capabilities, features, what it can do, like what we can handle too, capacities, like, so yeah, I mean that's under the cloud of everything. But and even, you know, design too, and also name change, because you know before it was just LYNQ.
I was gonna ask that.
Now it's LYNQpoint officially, but you know, still people are gonna be like, let's LYNQ, you know.
Yeah. So what is y'all's two role? Because like Noah and Innocent are like the front end, back end developers. And what would you say y'all's two roles are? Are y'all like the marketers, or like just the researchers and like, hey, let's try this and give them the idea?
So I'll speak on my role. And I'm gonna just say this again. We love Noah. Noah, he actually stepped away from LYNQpoint because he, you know, found joy in doing things with his new career. You know, again, Noah's a free spirit. So, but Noah left us in good standing. Like he made sure he handed things off to Innocent in a good way.
Yeah, it was a good exit. Yeah.
And like I said, we ended up bringing the contract on full time, which is Tom. So he kind of filled the place of Noah.
Gotcha.
And Noah got to work with Tom. Everybody got to work with Tom. Everybody loved Tom. So that was a smooth transition. I mean, it was a little nervous because again, we started with Noah, but it's like, again, Noah left us in great hands. I'm sorry, what was the rest of the question?
What is y'all's? What are y'all's specific roles?
So I would say, I mean, initially, just building the team, trying to keep guys motivated, and pretty much we do like the project management of the app. So I like to joke with the developers all the time, and I say, me and Philip's job is to break y'all's app, break y'all's code.
Yeah, break y'all's code.
So basically, I mean, we don't know the app is bugged out until we find it. So me and Filip will go all night just pressing any buttons, any sequence of buttons we can, just to see if we can find a deficiency in their code, and we can report it to them. And I would say I'll let Filip speak on the marketing side, but Filip also does a great job of organizing things, just, you know, taking what skill sets he's already had and bringing it to the team, and it just kind of fits. So it's more like nobody's been assigned a exact role except for the developers, but we kind of get in where we fit in. Like if we're lacking here and I can do it, then I just knock it out. If we're lacking there and he can do it, he'll knock it out. It's not like I have to call Filip and ask him like, hey, can you do this? It's like it's pretty much set in stone.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, he said it spot on, but if I had to give like something, I would say like just managing operations and like program management. That's pretty much, that's the simplest way I'd put it.
His role is COO. So
do you think you've gotten, like, for both of you, like sharper in the last, I would say, couple years, just as you've matured and, you know, maybe like stepped away from like kind of the nuances of just being like a young adult and stuff like that? Because at least for me in the last 2-3 years with, you know, helping Carlos build this thing up, just I feel like the level of focus and discipline and all that just makes you a lot more sharper. Like whenever you're thinking of an idea or like, you know, problem solving, you're just getting to solutions quicker. Do you guys feel like you're kind of like in that same lane?
I would say definitely maturity got sharper over the years.
Yeah.
Because like even from the last pod,
Yeah.
I'm sure you probably hear Filip talking about
Yeah.
different about that than he was. But I mean, that comes with experience. That comes with working. That comes with, I guess, not even having FOMO. I mean, of course, you have an idea. You talk it up with your buddies, and you think like, yo, this is gonna be the best idea I ever had. This is gonna blow up tomorrow. But you realize like, okay, you put it out, and not everybody is gravitating towards it. You have to understand that. You have to understand it's a grind. It's not going to happen today. It might not happen tomorrow. But you have to be present in order for it to happen. So I would say we're mature in the sense of being present. We're mature in the sense of understanding, hey, the app is not going to be perfect. So when we find a bug, let's not panic. Let's just communicate with our developers and understand, hey, we might have missed the opportunity to get some more downloads, but hey, at least we fixed the bug. So you got to kind of look at the glass half full rather than half empty these days. And I would say we've definitely grounded ourselves a little bit to understand, like, we're going to keep working this out because we love it, not because we want everybody to accept it or because we, you know, are scared to fail and things like that. Like, no, we love this app. We're passionate about this app, and we're going to keep pushing it, keep the ball rolling, regardless of how the outside world feels about it.
So when y'all rolled the app out initially, and you know it's ready to go, it was time to full-time launch it. I guess kind of take us through like what your mindset was then, and then just now, like how are you guys like getting people to remember to use the app and like get in there and you know stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, for initial launch, I'm just be honest, mindset was we were really excited. You know, it's something that we'd been working on for so long, and it was kind of, that feeling was kind of crazy when we got like that email notification, like, you know, it's like congrats, it's published on the App Store, and it's just like whoa, because you also have to go through like an application process with the Apple App Store, and you have to become like a Apple developer, and they got to approve it, and you submit it to them, and they test it, and if they find something bad, they'll reject it, and such and such. So like, you know, when you get that email, it's like, oh, it's on. It's like whoa, like it was a really exciting day, and that day was awesome. I would say that week it was very exciting. Everyone was posting about it. Everybody was calling us up. This is awesome, stuff like that. And you know, to keep people engaged and stuff, like following your next question, you know, we like to do. I mean, the best way is, let's be honest, social media. Like social media is like so powerful now. You can make something that's nothing become everybody wants it. Yeah. So like we try to be creative. Any kind of postings, like, you know, we do a lot of like our photo editing and postings on like Canva and stuff like that. We'll make like cool stuff to keep the user base engaged. We'll try to always like maybe have some like kind of open-ended questions, kind of gauge stuff like that. And then also like the biggest thing is the videos, right? You know, Reels, TikToks, that's what grabs everybody nowadays. So, you know, we've been working on that. We pump those out, and we're trying to like make them better each time, figuring out like, okay, for the next couple of videos, what can we change to keep the user more quickly engaged? They're like, you know, because people's attention span's getting shorter and shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can we make these videos like, boom, okay, whoa, I'm excited. Like I see this, I want to see it, instead of like, here's a very long tutorial, and then someone's probably gonna be like, whatever.
Yeah, I feel like too, some of the stuff I've learned from like, you know, other content creators and people we know that have businesses within content is just, you know, selling whatever product you're selling as like the content first, and not like trying to like strictly an advertisement. Like, I feel like with, like you were saying, with like content, if you like make, I don't know, something funny, or just even like a scenario or people meeting and stuff, people might be like, what is going on? Or even if it's like a cool, you know, we see all the, especially here in Austin, like we see all the TikToks and reels of food places and whatnot here. So it's like, if you can incorporate like this cool food place or whatever, and then at the end of the day, or at the end, you show like how people got there or whatever, I feel like stuff like that resonates with people, as opposed to, you know, you get on your phone and it just like, it looks like an ad, you're probably going to just swipe away immediately, you know?
And
So-
oh my God.
I was gonna say, one other thing we're trying to do, like you said, we're doing the TikToks, we're doing, you know, the real life people actually using the app, and showing people how to use it in real time. But one thing we're actually doing that we haven't rolled out yet to the public. We're doing this thing called Link of the Week.
Okay.
Where I've pretty much partnered up with probably the best photographer in the Houston area.
Okay.
Photographer, videographer, Daryl Peel.
Yeah.
And basically what I'm doing is trying to cross-platform, similar to what y'all do, but not in a podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm meeting with different businesses, people, and organizations, and creating a video showing their works and how they can use our app to, help their business. So
that's a good idea.
we have a video actually. I can show y'all before it's released. I actually met with a guy I grew up with named Miles. He has a shoe company, a custom shoe designing company where he calls it the Crooks Game, and he made us a LYNQ shoe. So I have a cool 4 to 5 minute video of us just talking about the shoe, talking about how he creates custom shoes and how I want a LYNQ shoe. And at the end, there's a promo. So we'll have a promo for the first 3 people to show Miles that they have LYNQpoint on their phone gets a custom shoe half off. So it's a pretty cool idea, and I want to expand and continue doing videos and showing people and working with different organizations and groups and things like that. And I think that could go. I think that could be very big. One of my favorite, I guess, YouTubers, MTV Jesse. I'm not sure if y'all.
Yeah.
He branched off and did his own.
Doing Sunday right now on the clothing and all that. Yeah.
He said something on a podcast that really stuck with me. He was just like, he doesn't really know. I guess where. Don't let me misquote, but he was basically like, Sunday, he doesn't know where it could go. He could cross-platform with so many things. Yeah. And I was thinking with LYNQ, I'm just like, yeah, we're an app, but now we have a shoe and we can do podcasts and we can do, again, I plan on doing several videos with different companies. It's just it's endless. For instance, let's say I see a girl with Girl Scout cookies outside of Walmart. I could buy those cookies and say, hey, if whoever DMs me and says, y'all have LYNQpoint on y'all's phone, I'll meet y'all halfway and give y'all these cookies. Just different ideas we can.
Yeah, and just making it creative and stuff, and shout out to Jesse and Nelk Boys and all them, kind of just seeing how people pivot their business into using the brand they built up to be constantly able to provide whatever insight that they're trying to provide to continue to grow their business. And I think that's a great idea with collaboration, especially nowadays. Awesome. Even with us, all the guests we get on the podcast and stuff, they all have cool businesses. They're all doing cool stuff, or creators or whatever. And it's just the art of that collabing, and or you might see there might be someone that knows you, and then that whatever business you collab with, and they're oh, what they're doing content together and stuff, and then it kind of all compounds, and then you might reach out to someone and they might have a huge following, but they might love your idea and they're like, dude, I'm down to do that. Let's do something, and it just helps you too.
No, it's perfect. And honestly, the video that he's gonna show y'all after, it's an awesome video.
Oh yeah.
And it's really enticing, right? Because then it's a win-win for both businesses, right? Yeah. It's we're figuring a way to incorporate ours into theirs, and it's everybody wants to promote their stuff, right?
Yeah,
that they're working hard on and stuff like that. And then another way that we keep engaged with social media is we try to make a video around trends that's going on. So he had a great idea the other day. He hit me up. He was like, bro, can you try to make a video Christmas, finding a Christmas patch farm or something like that going on? And then it's yeah, for sure, that would be perfect. Get on the app, search up Christmas patch and stuff like that. That's what's trendy right now. It's the holidays, it's fun. And then a couple ones before that, remember pickleball was blowing up crazy.
Yes.
And so I was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to the pickleball courts. People want to figure out where to play pickleball. Yeah. I didn't know that just off the bat.
Yeah.
And search pickleball on LYNQpoint, boom, course shows up, and that's it. So I made a video with that one. That one did well too. So it's yeah, definitely that we try to follow the trends, see what's really popping, and then pick a video off that. And
an idea that, sorry, Carlos, an idea that came up just now for me is just obviously the real estate game, especially in Texas in general, but Austin, Houston area, super big. And then I work for a financial advising company, and it's just I'm thinking about all the financial advisors and stuff, and people like that I work with. And I know they have their client base and whatnot. I feel that maybe in the future, either partnering with a brokerage or a financial advising company, because these people need to meet people out and about, but they're driving all over the place, and their clients might live across the city or whatnot. I definitely think just apps like that for people that are super business oriented, stuff like that will be great, because we can go meet here, have a coffee, have a drink, have a meal, but we don't what's halfway. It's get in LYNQpoint, and that's what it does for you.
100%. We try not to do it too much, but when we look at the statistics of where people are meeting, because
Yeah.
we can see all that.
Yeah.
We try not to look at it too much because we don't want to get complacent. We want to keep spreading the word. But yeah, I think once we get to the point where we're targeting in on that and we're seeing where people are actually linking, we're gonna try to market it that way. And even where people aren't linking, where they're not, we're gonna try to build a market for that. So like you just said, I mean, that'll be great for people to have business meetings at certain coffees and things like coffee shops and things like that. Yeah. But we saw some interesting links. I've heard like people using the app in ways that I didn't imagine. Like I would say I've gotten a lot of single moms who they co-parent. So meeting the baby father halfway, nobody wants each other to know where they stay. Things like that. Okay. People met at Barnes and Noble. People have met at a Sam's Club between them and somebody else.
So like I feel like for like
milk tea,
Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that too, like that when people sell stuff, it's like let's meet in this public spot.
Sure.
And I think that's why we're just trying to continue recording and showing people that hey, you can meet at these places for whatever reason. It's been times where I've argued with friends on the phone like, man, this gym not by you, this gym by like we trying to like, man, get on LYNQpoint. I'm like, hey, you right. Why wouldn't I? So yeah, I've had people tell me, for the gym and things like that.
LYNQpoint will show you the truth quick.
That's fire.
Who's not showing up, halfway,
Exactly. There's no excuse. It's like we got options right in between both of us, equal distance,
Yeah. And I say all the time, this is what I tell the team a lot. I say, people, we have a great app. The app works. We came up with the MVP, and the MVP works. I mean,
MVP is minimum viable product, by the way.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know if we said that in the beginning.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that.
So we literally made an app that helps you meet at a point between you and friends for whatever convenient reason. Now it's our job. I will put it on me and Filip even more to show people that this app exists.
The capabilities.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's just what we're trying to do with Link of the Week, with the Link Challenge, with the Instagram post. So,
some of the craziest stuff is like we'll get like somebody calls us like, the app's been out for some time now, and somebody calls us like, dude, I used it and it was awesome. I'm like, yeah, it works. That's the whole point. Like, they're just like, I can't believe it. Like, this thing really works. And it's like, brother, like, that's what we were trying to tell you. Like,
y'all use Google's interface?
For what do you mean?
Like for the maps and all that?
So we use Mapbox and Google Places API. So like
Mapbox
is what our turn-by-turn navigation is, and the UI that you're going to see for the navigation. And Mapbox is really nice. If I had to pick a UI that looked closest to it, I would say Apple Maps looks like it, but we can apply like our own themes and colors, so it, it matches with that same theme we have going on, like white, blue, purple, and such. But like where we're pulling our data, where we're getting our places, like when the reviews show up, the photos from the places, those are Google tokens. So those are coming from Google Maps API. Like we pick certain tokens that we want to provide, like I said, photos, reviews, information from the place, name, stuff like that.
Yeah, because I have a friend that's he's getting his degree in comp sci right now in Wisconsin, and I sent him the app. I was like, hey, you and your friends download this app and whatnot. And then that was like the first thing he noticed was the Google Maps API. He was like, oh, they use Google Maps API. That's nice. I was like, yeah, it's a dope app. So how is it? If y'all do it, how's it been pitching y'all's ideas to businesses or other people to either A, have investors, or B, to do something like collaboration wise? Like he mentioned Facebook Marketplace. What if y'all like, even though it is an app, but what if y'all like the official app of Facebook Marketplace where people have to use your app to meet in the middle when they purchase something? So like how's it been to pitch y'all's ideas and to even learn about how pitching ideas? Because there's a science behind it and it is business oriented. So like how has it been learning that as well?
I would say in the state that we're at right now, we're kind of like doing a little bit of like restructuring and making sure like everything's a little more solid and stuff. So based on that, we actually haven't jumped really deeply into like kind of paid promotion or even just like reaching out to like potential other apps that we think we could fit in with or something like that. Like you guys keep bringing up Facebook Marketplace. That's a good one. Like another good scene where LYNQpoint, I can see it benefiting like insanely would be like dating apps. Just like, you match with someone on Tinder, what's the next step? It's like, y'all want to go out and get a drink or get a coffee or get a dinner. That's what our app provides. It also doesn't reveal where you're coming from. So, the
safe.
security's
Yeah.
there. You know, that's literally the next step. It always is when you match like Bumble, Tinder, all that stuff. But definitely, you know, once we're at the point where we're ready to start doing paid promotions and really like everything's been natural so far. But once we get to the point where we're ready to kind of, you know, put in some money, really hit some good promos and start reaching out to companies like, you know, maybe hit up Tinder, Bumble, like, hey, this is what we got, you know, we're not there yet, but that's what we're getting to. So to be honest, we really don't know what that's gonna come with yet, but I mean, that's in our plans for sure.
Gotcha.
I'll piggyback on what Phil said, and I don't want to say we're not there yet. We're pouring so much into.
We're trying to perfect it, actually.
Exactly.
So yeah, not there yet. That's not right, but we're still perfecting what we want.
Right, and I know it'll never be perfect. I know, you know, people always say, you know, it's, you know, you got to go for it now, and that's why we're trying to build our foundation, build these videos, build an audience, and build these things. Because when we pray for rain, we're gonna bring our umbrellas. We're not, you know, we're not coming out there blind. We're not coming out there getting wet. We're coming prepared. So when we start shooting our shots, we want to say, hey, we got this, we got this, we got that. We can give you statistics. We can give you data. We can give you basically, we can show you that we built this, and that, you know, how can y'all help us help you, and how can you help us? You know, how can we benefit from each other? But we are open. I mean, if somebody hears this and wants to collab, again, that's why I'm doing Link of the Week. Maybe we could talk. Maybe we could do a Link of the Week. Maybe, again, I can show you our platform and how our platform can help your platform. And maybe, again, like I said, we did a promo. Maybe we can do a promo for people who support both of the platforms. And I just think the natural ideas we have, because, again, we're putting a lot into ourselves right now because we trust ourselves, we trust our team. I think that's going to get us pretty far.
Yeah, I got a question that just came up too, is what you were talking about, like, you know, growing the brand and stuff like that. So I guess what is like y'all's focal point? Like, is it just obviously Houston and Austin, since like this is kind of the places we live? So would it be like those two major cities, or all of Texas, and then once you get it kind of grown here, then expand global? Or
that's the funny part about the app.
America.
A lot of people think because I'm from Houston or because he's from Austin, that's the only places the app is used.
Yeah.
The app can be used in Europe.
Yeah.
Philip has done videos in Europe. The app can be used everywhere. So anywhere there's GPS, our app can be used. And that's what we want people to understand and see. And that's, I think, a big misconception. I've had friends who like, oh, man, I love the app, but what if you can use it in Dallas?
Like, brother, use it in Dallas.
Yeah.
Use it in Dallas. I mean, if there's GPS in Dallas, the app can be used. Now, I can't help you in the middle of the desert, but, you know, if there's a turn-by-turn navigation that exists in your area, LYNQpoint can be used in that area.
Yeah, because my friend that was in Wisconsin, he downloaded it, and we used it, and it showed us, like, I think in the middle was like Missouri or something, or I don't know where it was. I forgot.
People always have fun with that. Like, I remember we were in Whistler, Vancouver, and we tried. I sent my girl a link request, and it was like the midpoint was like 11 hours away or something crazy like that.
It's crazy. But it is dope to like see that though.
Hopefully, maybe we could do long distance link of the weeks. Maybe
that would be cool.
Record a road trip and just post it for people to see. But the app can be used everywhere.
So we're talking about this app and like saying what it does, but what is LYNQpoint actually?
LYNQpoint is supposed to simplify making meeting like very convenient. Like, that's the thing. Like, you know, there's a lot of like, what LYNQpoint does is take care of all those extra steps or something. You know, if you're talking to someone new, you're like, oh, are you by this, or search this, where are you by, what area you by, search this, search this, search this. Where for us, you just get on the app, you send a request, it's already done. Like, you pick where you want to go, or you search where you want to go, and it establishes all that for you. Like, it cuts out all those middle spots. Like, you know, why was Snapchat great, or is, I guess, why is Snapchat great? You know, you had that functionality already. You take a picture, you add it as attachment, you send the message. All Snapchat did was remove that middle step. It's just like picture send, right? It's no longer that attach it as a thing. And so like LYNQpoint's amazing for that reason. It's like, you no longer have to, oh, are you by this? Is this close to you? Or what about these areas? Or send me a pin or something. You know, it's like, figure it out from there. It's like, it's all done for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I was going to say LYNQpoint, to piggyback, LYNQpoint is that new technology that has never existed before that eliminates the planning process. And simple. If I wanted to go grab a bite with a buddy, you know, we would, let's say a buddy from across town, before LYNQpoint, we would have to get on Google Maps or wherever and pick a place and things like that.
Send it. Is this near you?
And then, you know, is this near you? And then by the time you have to do all that, you like, man, I'm good. I'll do something else. Now it's like, we wanted to make it to where it's boom. Hey, you want to go eat? Cool. Get on LYNQpoint.
Send me a
now
link.
what do you want? Wings? Now you see 10 wing spots between you and that person.
Convenient spots.
Now you can vote, and now you have the directions to get there. And it has
and you got ETA.
Correct.
Is like, I get there early. Dang, where's bro at? Oh, he's still 2 minutes away. Lifetime ETA of him too.
Yeah, so there's no cap on the app, so you can't tell me you pulling up, you 5 minutes away. Like,
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, that was
you.
one of the things that off rip when I got on it and I was doing it with Philip. And I was like, damn, bro, like the live ETA, because you know how people be, man.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm on the way. They showering, like.
I mean, I think we're all guilty of that at some point. Me too, because that was one of my things going into next year is just like better with my time management because I'm like, oh, I'm on the way. Like even here, he said 9:30, but I didn't get here till like 9:37. But like if someone says 9:30, whatever the case is, you need to be there before 9:30. Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, if you're using LYNQpoint, the app will tell them.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've used it with my girlfriend too, and that was what you said was if it's like because I think I was a little bit closer than she was, but it was still relatively in the middle, and I was there for like 3 minutes before she got there as well.
Correct, and that's why we try to stay away from the term midpoint, even though it's at a mid distance. That's the idea, but we are.
It finds you the LYNQpoint.
The LYNQpoint,
the convenient spot.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean it's still relatively in the middle.
And I mean that kind of circles back to that loaded question of what's changed since, and it's like you see back then. I mean, I would say our idea was like just the midpoint, and it's like we're kind of like what, it doesn't have to be the exact midpoint. Let's make it the LYNQpoint, the most convenient point. Give options. Like it doesn't have to be the dead center middle. Right? Yeah. So it's like. Just like, we could go on and on about like what's changed over the time. But I mean, just having a better idea of what we want, a better idea of what we see the app to be, like the final stages of it. And
going into 2024, what's some of the goals you'll have set for LYNQ, either just the whole year or early Q1 or?
I would say one of the biggest ones would be, we're looking forward to get started on the aggressive promoting, right? I would say that would be exciting, kind of see how that goes, finally put some money into promotion and stuff. I'm definitely eager and excited to see where that takes it.
I would say, we're going to launch probably a YouTube, maybe different social media platforms, things like that, where we could display just strictly LYNQ content, things like that. So the link of the weeks, I hope, that reaches certain crowds. And, I hope rather than me just, sticking my neck out and having to go to everybody, which I don't mind doing. Again, it's a grind that, companies see benefit with our app and can reach out to us and say, hey, I have an idea for this link of the week. Could you help me out? Almost like Keith Lee. All Keith Lee was doing was going to Eden, giving food reviews. Now he's changing businesses and things like that. So, kudos to what he's out here doing too. And hopefully we could put businesses on a map like that. Maybe we can link at these unknown places. Maybe we can link at or collab with different businesses who are unknown or even businesses who are known, and we could just, again, show the world how to use our app in real time and show them how it can benefit them in many different ways that is beyond even what we can imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of it for me. I don't know if you had any last questions.
I guess, what are some of y'all's goals for it in 2024? I guess what are some of the big things you guys want to accomplish with it?
I would say again, going back to your earlier question on what did you learn, I try not to put goals on what we're doing, because again, this app we've never made an app, and this app never existed before we're here. So I don't like to put too much pressure on the team. I definitely just want to keep the ball rolling. I would say one day at a time, one download at a time. Because you can get caught up in looking at numbers. You can get caught up in looking at statistics. You can get caught up in looking at other people and what they're doing. But I think we just want to continue to feed into the team, continue to polish the app, continue to come up with new features that are user-friendly and that users may want to see. We have ideas for big updates, but again, we're still polishing, what we have now. Again, it's one step at a time, no time limit on things. As long as we are all committed, as long as we're all involved, as long as we're all, bought in, and I think we'll definitely keep moving in a positive direction.
Do you have any?
I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head there, but
no. And then one last thing for me, what are some, you know, asks or offers that we could do to help you guys out? Either that, you know, us guiding you in the right direction to work with some people, or whenever you guys want to do content and stuff, like, especially because Filip lives here, me and him, we probably get together and we can, you know, kind of figure some stuff out to help
yeah,
y'all.
we can definitely chop it up, figure something out. But I mean, you know, we could do. There's a handful of stuff like LYNQpoint challenges. We could figure out how to do like a link of the week. Like,
that'd be cool. I think.
Yeah, and I know you guys know how to do well with cameras too, so definitely have a lot of potential there to make something good for both of us.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Not just one side.
Yeah,
help
each other grow and stuff.
I mean, that's what this is at the end of the day too. You know? So we're already starting that foot off in the right way, and it's the way it goes.
Yeah, and I also say, like link of the week. I mean, I had the resources to do it in Houston, so you know, I don't even necessarily really care to be on camera, but I just know, you know, we have to push it. It's our product, so
just put a face with a brand type deal.
Definitely true.
Yeah, that's important.
But like Filip said earlier, it's like, you know, he could do link of the week. I want random people to do link of the week. And they could submit it, and maybe we could approve it.
Then it becomes like a community, and then it's like, and then people are like, oh, I want to be on the page, you know?
Right? And it gets so far removed from Devin and Filip's face to where again, somebody might text me one day and be like, hey, download this app LYNQpoint.
Yeah.
I'd love that. That'll make my day.
Nah, for sure.
So
that would be
awesome,
that'd be dope.
It's like it's mine, you know.
I won't even say that. Just
for sure.
That or just like going down the street and I see like just some random person, it's on their phone, like,
or even just like
awesome.
I feel like even like someone that's close to you too, you're like, hey, bro, I just was at the airport and there were people were talking about that. Like once you get to that, you already know like you did what you did. You like it's gonna compound and just domino.
I mean, we already do get like really excited just when we hear people say like, this is what I used it for today, and this helped me this way today, and that's already.
And
like,
you're impacting people's lives too. That's an important thing.
That's already like, man, this is awesome.
Yeah. Before we hit this off, is there any shout outs you want to give or anything for us?
I would just say shout out to everybody who's helped us with the app. It's a list of people. Of course, shout out to Noah. Again, he's no longer with LYNQpoint, but shout out to Noah. He was definitely a big part of this. Shout out to Tom and Innocent.
Shout out to Tom and Innocent, man.
Front and back end developers. And again, shout out to everybody who's doing link challenges, the family, the friends, things like that. Everybody who supports, everybody who uses the app. And shout out to y'all for having us on y'all's platform.
Thank you again.
It's been cool, good conversation talking to y'all, and I really like what y'all are doing. Like I told y'all before the pod, did my homework on the way down.
Appreciate that for real, bro. It means a lot.
It's good to see y'all's growth. It's good to see, you know,
bro.
Like Filip said,
Y'all have grown positively. I mean, that when I first pulled up here, it was light. Now it's like, man, that y'all gonna have to get another flag soon.
Yeah, bro. It's, I mean, it's cool because like you'll be one of the people to sign the OG flag, and you know that means a lot to us. And just, you know, like I was telling him, like consistency can go a long way. And now like the next year, it's like quality. Like maybe scale back or cut back a little bit on the consistency, but when we put out something, it's like polished, like the best thing we can put out type
But
deal.
yeah, I mean, shout out to friends, shout out to family, shout out to everybody that uses the app. Shout out to everybody that wants to help us. Shout out to you guys. It's a lot of people involved in this. It's not just our app. It's our app, like everybody, you know. So it's like, yeah, for sure.
One last thing. I know the last time when we first talked, it was just on Apple. Is it still just on Apple, or is it on Android as well?
Yeah, no, it's still on Apple App Store. You know, we got to kind of figure it out first on one platform, then bring it on to the next one. But definitely have that in our plans.
Is it like the same process, like from like putting it on the Apple App Store?
No, it basically has to get completely restructured. It would be like rebuilding the app that we made all over again in different code, different language.
The development for Android is different from the
I feel like too with Apple, like obviously like in America, like that's like the most used like device, but like around the world, it's like probably Android.
It was a strategic decision. What platform we went with first.
It was also strategic because again, one thing Noah did teach us is make an app that you would use, and we have iPhones, so we put it on iPhone.
Yeah. Filip even had to switch. He wasn't an iPhone guy.
Right. But yeah, I would just say
I haven't looked back though.
Nah, for sure. Disclaimer.
Look back. But yeah, I would just say, like I said earlier, we're trying to turn the lemonade stand into a lemonade factory. So while we're building that stand, you know, maybe when we get the factory, then we'll branch off into the Android side of things. But right now, we're working with what we got. We're not trying to overspend or overcompensate. We have to, be realistic with our crowd right now. And our crowd is, it's a small app. I mean, we have, you know, a lot of downloads for a year, I would say.
And for natural, completely natural, no paid promo, nothing like that.
Exactly. But again, we don't want to get in the numbers, and we want to make sure, we're just satisfying the demand of our users. So when we do get high enough demand for the Android market, then that's when we'll try to take our app to that market for sure.
That'll be dope. That'll be dope. Again, thank y'all taking time out y'all's day. Like I said, I mean, especially you because you drove from Houston, so that means a lot. And anytime anybody drives far from anywhere, I mean, I deeply appreciate it. Yeah, it was nice to meet you as well. We're gonna have all y'all's everything in the description down below. Do y'all want y'all's personals on it as well, or do y'all just want the business on it? It's up to y'all. However y'all want to do it.
You can put at LYNQpoint on Instagram, at LYNQpoint on Twitter,
Yep.
At LYNQpoint on TikTok.
Yep.
And you can put our personals on. I'm currently not on Instagram right now, but that's because
I feel you.
I don't know how we want to,
Throw the personals.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like,
Yeah.
Who knows?
That sounds good. And you guys are planning on making a YouTube this upcoming year?
Exactly. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to come back on Instagram. If
I got you.
Rebrand it to just.
If you want to just be like personal, or you want to tie it, I feel like that's real quick. I feel like too, like that's been like the difficult part of like trying to build something and then still having your personal life is trying to like mesh them to where it's like authentic and not just like feeling
not like I'm just promoting myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Do this because we made it. Do this because we made it. Like,
exactly. So I feel that.
Yeah, because I'm coming back to Instagram 2024, and I think I still haven't, because I do think about that, and I still haven't decided like how I want to do it. I don't know if it's just my personal or like don't only use it mainly for the business.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to create a whole separate one and have my, you just. But hey, as long as I think y'all do it, you can't go wrong. It's your life, your roadmap.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how I got, especially at some point, you just don't care. So
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
Well, this was a great episode. I'm glad we got to do it again, especially since so much has changed within LYNQpoint. Because we had the original podcast when it was just in an infant stage, and now we're actually at where it's out. People are using it, and you've had feedback and whatnot. So I do appreciate that we got to do it again later. If you are an iPhone user, make sure you download the app LYNQpoint. We've all used it at this table, not just me, but we've all used it. It works. It's great. It does get you to where you want to go. And then y'all make sure to go give them a follow on everything. And the YouTube's coming out 2024. Something like that. All right.
Yeah, for sure 2024, but it could come out tomorrow.
You never know. But be on the lookout for the YouTube.
sure.
But again, I'm gonna show y'all that video.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Get y'all's thoughts.
And that'll do it for my boys over here at Opinionated. We'll catch y'all guys next time. Peace.